What's up, everybody? We are live at 5. I'm Paul Wontorek.
I'm Beth Stevens. Oh my God, you guys, you knew I was going to do that. We have a really terrific guest for you.
Laura Bell Bundy's here.
From the Honeymooners.
Of course, we love her from Legally Blonde and a lot of other things, but she's in a brand new musical that's premiering at Paper Mill Playhouse. I can't wait to see it because there's like buzz. There's buzz on this show.
There's buzz. There's a great cast.
There's major buzz. It's
good stuff.
Great cast.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to all that.
Yeah.
But there's news. There's some news.
There's some news.
What's happening? There's some trophy news.
That's right. Let's start with the good news. There's good news. There's bad news. Let's start with the good news. Creative Arts Emmys were over the weekend. This is the great news. The Tony Awards won. How about that?
They win often, don't
they?
I mean,
that's okay. That doesn't make it any less good.
I know.
This is the one that was hosted by James Corden, and it won the Best Special Class Program. I don't know what that means, but it sounds
it's classy.
Super
Tuxedos.
Classy. Super
fun.
classy. Also, Hairspray Live took home 3 awards.
Yeah.
Love Hairspray Live. Guess what?
Speaking of Laura Bell Bundy.
Speaking of Laura Bell Bundy.
The Hairspray. Hello, Amber Van
Hello.
Tussle, I'm just saying.
Outstanding hairstyling, obviously.
Oh,
it won
God,
that.
that's so obvious.
Can you believe it? Technical direction and production design, which was Derek McLean, who's a Tony winner, was part of that team. Now, the major categories, the acting categories, directing categories, what you're thinking of when you think of TV, when you think of the Emmys, that's next weekend.
The Jackie Hoffman category.
Jackie Hoffman, if you will. That's September 17th on CBS.
Yes.
That's the good news.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to the sad news.
Oh, terrible news. Michael Friedman died over the weekend. Horrible news. Michael Friedman is the composer, lyricist of Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson, which of course played on Broadway in 2010. But such a prolific, talented guy. He's written so many musicals. Love's Labor's Lost, which was done in Central Park. Fortress of Solitude, maybe some people say that might be his sort of ultimate score.
Yeah.
Pretty Filthy, which was a crazy musical about the porn industry that I saw. Unknown Soldier. He wrote a lot. Very talented guy. Horrible news. He died of HIV/AIDS complications. People were very surprised.
Only 41.
Yeah, 41 years old. Such a major talent. People, all over social media were just really grieving this horrible news. He was part of the Civilians, which is this theater company that I know that's where Pretty Filthy and a bunch of the shows came from. He won an Obie Award for Sustained Excellence, a Broadway.com Audience Choice Award for Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson, and Broadway's grieving. It's really sad news.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a moment, have a moment. Okay. Now we've got new works at Lincoln Center Theater. Always great when there's new plays. The first one is by Joshua Harmon, who wrote
Significant Other
and Bad Jews, and the upcoming Skin Tight, starring Idina Menzel. Gotta say it that way. So this new play is called Admissions. It's at the Mitzi Newhouse in 2018, so next spring. I'm just gonna read it, because here's what it's about. Are you ready?
Right.
Sherry Rosen Mason.
It can't be better than the Skin Tight plot synopsis.
Nothing
Nothing ever will be.
We're never going to get over that, I think. Sherry Rosen Mason is head of the admissions department at the Hillcrest School, fighting to diversify the student body, and alongside her husband, the school's headmaster, they've largely succeeded in bringing a stodgy institution into the 21st century, but when their only son sets his sights on an Ivy League university, personal ambition collides with progressive values with, are you ready? Convulsive result. What? Okay. So he is actually going to be...
You made it sound very exciting.
I try.
Convulsive.
I was literally just reading what LCT said. He is going to be reunited with Daniel Auken, who directed Bad Jews and the upcoming Skin Tight, starring Idina Menzel. That previews February 15th and opens on March 12th at Mitzi Newhouse. Also up in the Clairteau Theater, LCT3, Martina Mayock, who wrote Cost of Living, which was at MTC last year. Really interesting play. She's got a new play called Queens, lowercase, Queens. It's immigrant women in a basement apartment. We'll leave it at that. That previews February. You're looking at me like you're laughing. I don't know why. February 10th opens, February 26th. Both casts have not been announced yet, so we'll find
this
out.
is really far off stuff. I mean, this is like...
This is exciting, though. These are new works.
New plays. But something a little more urgent, something happening around holiday time. Robert Fairchild, who of course we fell in love with a couple seasons ago.
Yes.
The ballet dancer who made the leap to Broadway in An American in Paris.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Tony nominee. He is choreographing a new take on Frankenstein.
And starring in it.
Which is crazy. And it's like classical music. I think it's
Yes.
like it's
So
like
it's
using
Liszt
like
and
classical
Schubert
music.
and Bach.
And this will be at the Pershing Square Signature Center on 42nd Street. It starts December 21st, opens December 27th. Wow, he's not going to have a Christmas.
He is going to be in tech.
He's going to be in tech
Or
over
whatever.
Christmas and casting TBA. Which
Although
needs to be
he's
announced,
starring
to
in
be
it, that's all we
announced.
know. Robbie Fairchild starring. So the casting is now complete for Network in London.
Oh, we need to go see this. This is
I'm excited
this is a
for
good
this.
movie.
So this starts November 4th. Put it on your calendar. Opens November 13th, starring Bryan Cranston, Michelle Dockery, and Douglas Henschel. They just announced the ensemble, but I just want to mention it because it's super exciting.
Yeah.
Network. Mad as
also
hell.
on Broadway.com, we have an interview with Montego Glover, who just joined the cast of Hamilton in Chicago. Jim Norton.
Jim Norton, who is starring at the Old Vic in London in Girl from the North Country. This is the play
This
that
is like
Connor
a hot play.
McPherson wrote that incorporates Bob Dylan songs.
Oh.
So that's pretty good. Also, he talks about his time in Edwin Drood, and he reveals what Chita Rivera said to him when he was nervous to dance with Chita Rivera. And she said, "Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to read the piece?"
Is it dirty?
Yeah, a little. She said, "I'm going to grab your ass, and you won't have to worry about anything else." Isn't that great?
How old is Jim Norton?
He's up there.
You gotta know,
up
like
there.
you
He's a
gotta
twelve.
get the visual of Jim Norton and Cheetah grabbing his ass. By the way, the Cheetah Rivera Awards are tonight.
That's right.
So best of luck to all you amazing dancers.
And
who are-
choreographers.
Yeah, and it used to be the Astaire Awards. I'm sorry to any big Astaire fans, but now it's the Cheetah Rivera Awards,
That's right.
which we're excited about. And also we have we did the Culturalist. We asked you which Emmy nominees you're most excited for. Do you want to know who they're most
Yeah,
excited
let's
for?
tell 'em.
Number 3, Titus Burgess. Titus, it might be time for him to win. James Corden, number 2, and number 1, Mr. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Shock. I'm in shock. We will be right back.
With Laura Bell Bundy. LBB.
Broadway's Come From Away is a Best Musical winner all across North America. This stirring and inspiring musical takes you to a place you never want to leave. Celebrate the best of humankind and the best in all of us at Come From Away, the remarkable true story of the small town that welcomed the world.
The most epic love story of our time is now Broadway's summer blockbuster, Miss Saigon. It's a stunning, jaw-dropping spectacle. See it now for a limited time. Miss Saigon.
Wipe away the mask of makeup, just to talk, not to spur, man to man, queen to queen on a par, standing face to
Hey guys, we are back on Live at 5, and oh my God, Laura Bell Bundy is here. So excited. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We don't see you around these parts that often,
No,
you know.
not often. Not as often as I'd like.
Yeah, but here you are. You're in town. You're working on a brand new musical. Hopefully, maybe Broadway bound musical, but it's happening at Paper Mill Playhouse. Are you excited? Is it exciting to
yeah.
be back in this world, or is it just suddenly you're like, oh my God, I remember how stressful and
No. I mean, of course I remember how stressful it was, but I was doing Elle Woods in Legally Blonde. I get to play one of 4 leads in a brand new musical.
Yes,
again.
yes,
So I'm
yes.
like, what do you mean I got 3 hours off? This is fantastic. I'll be at the bar. I'm loving it. I can't tell you how much I've missed being on stage and doing musical theater, and it's been a long time. I mean, I do a ton of concerts and I tour and I
Yeah.
do things like that, and I get the feeling of the live performance, but nothing is like creating and crafting a character from the beginning and working on story. And I love the process as much as I love the 8 shows a week. So
Right.
I've had a nice break, and now I have like nothing but enthusiasm.
Right.
So.
Okay, so you are playing Trixie. This is the Honeymooners. So the Honeymooners for the kids.
Yeah,
the
for the
kids
kids out
might
there.
not. The Legally Blonde kids might not know much about the Honeymooners. The Honeymooners was a huge television show in the 50s, created by Jackie Gleason, correct? And he played Ralph Cramden, a bus driver, and it's set in Brooklyn. Is that right?
Yeah, it's set on Chauncey Street in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And there's so many different television shows that were inspired and characters
Yeah.
were inspired, like Flintstones.
Yeah, the Flintstones. It's the Flintstones.
Yeah,
You're
and
basically in the
Kramer and
Flintstones.
Seinfeld is kind of a little bit like Ed Norton.
Yep. Yep.
So, and there's other shows that I'm sure that are out there that I could probably rattle off, and you go.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit like King of Queens, kind of.
Working Class.
Yeah.
That it was really one of the first shows that really. I mean, every show now is about working class people, but this was sort of like one
This
of the.
was like a
pioneer-
working class, and also not Donna Reed, like, oh hi darling, it's so good
Right.
to see you. It was like, listen, rah, 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 I mean, they're yelling at each other all over, but at the end of
Yeah.
the day, they love each other. So it's a real realistic couple. A lot of fun and funny arguments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Between
Yeah.
these couples.
Yes.
And the women are always like, oh my God, what are the men getting into?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in this, the women get into things too.
Okay, so it sounds like you did a reading of this like last year, right?
Yeah, I did a lab for it.
Oh, I know that everybody was talking about it. Everyone was saying how great it was.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
yeah,
lovely.
there's a lot of really good buzz for this
Oh,
show.
good, good.
People really enjoyed it. I didn't get to see it. I'll be in New Jersey to see it. I can't wait. But it sounds like it's sort of maybe like one episode, kind of. It's like an original story using the characters.
Right. So
What
what
is the
they
structure
did
of it?
is like, I mean, Bill Nuss and Dusty Kaye are experts in the Honeymooners. So they've watched every single incarnation of
writers.
every single episode. And I've watched every episode too. And now I've gone back and watched even the episodes that you have to like search deep cuts, like on Daily Motion, not even on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Like,
It's
go away.
hard to
the very
find?
First,
Oh,
the very
oh,
first
oh.
Trixie was Elaine Stritch. And then there were Trixies after Joyce Randolph, who I had the pleasure of
You mean
having dinner
Elaine
with.
Stritch did what?
She was the first Trixie in a sketch
In
that
the-
they did.
oh,
Honeymooners,
right, 'cause it
Honeymooners
started-
started as a
Right,
sketch
it started,
on the
okay.
cavalcade,
Yep.
the DuPont cavalcade show that Jackie
Wow.
Gleason had, which was a variety show, and he had a bunch of
Yes.
sketches and different characters. And Honeymooners was a sketch that became so popular they made its own
Right,
show.
right.
So the plot of our show is kind of keeping in mind all these special moments that are kind of iconic,
Okay.
that are sprinkled into one plot based on one of the episodes, which is them entering a jingle contest.
So that is an actual episode.
That is an apple, and then they take it further by the fact that like they then get hired by that company, and Ralph Cramden is a bus driver, and Ed Norton works in the sewer. So how does that change their lives? And then there was a couple of references about Trixie in the many episodes that when Ed Norton met her, she was wearing a single white rose, and she was a burlesque dancer and a burlesque singer
Oh.
before he married her.
Okay.
So then she's like, I still got it in me. I still want to perform. I still want to do this. Like, I have these dreams and desires. I'm not just your wife's like sitting up in this house, this apartment with one room for 15 years. And so she gets an opportunity to audition to perform at the El Morocco Dance Club. So then my whole journey is all about like that, which is surprising.
It's like the I Love Lucy journey. Like
It is
Lucy,
and
Lucy
it-
always performing.
And it is a little bit like that because I get myself into trouble a little bit. There's a lot of moments like that. So they've really expanded
That's
on
fun, I like
Trixie. They've also expanded on Alice, and they've expanded on the women in the show being more significant,
Mm-hmm.
being at the end of the day, they kind of outsmart their men. They've modernized it in that way.
Wow.
But they've stayed true to the
Yeah.
to what's timeless about it, and it's so fun. And oh my gosh, Michael Mcgraw.
Okay, so let's talk about your co-stars. Michael Mcgraw is playing at Tony Winner.
Yes.
Tony Winner, Michael Mcgraw. He's playing Ralph.
Yes.
He's been involved with us for a while.
Yes.
And who's playing his wife?
Leslie Kritzer.
Leslie Kritzer, also of Legally Blonde. There's a little Legally Blonde reunion here. Is that fun?
Because we have a couple scenes where we enter together and we're backstage, and like John Rando, our director, has to go, ladies, shh,
Focus.
it's your cue. Because we're back there like, oh my God, what do you think that I should wear? Do you like these eyelashes? I mean, we're just.
And then you are paired with Michael Mastro.
Yeah.
As Ed.
Yeah.
As Ed Norton. It's an amazing. So is there a lot of laughing in rehearsals? And
Yes, a lot of laughing and a lot of working together to find beats. Because, there's only so much you can do on your own and you can come in responsible for making a joke work. But there's also something to be said when two people do the walk in time and the slow burn look. And so if one of us has an idea that we want to bring to the table, sometimes it requires everybody being on board for it, and we're all game for whatever's going to work.
Amazing.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
And we laugh and giggle at each other all the time.
Yeah, I love it. You know, it's been 10 years since Legally Blonde. Is that crazy? Does that seem? I mean, you've done.
It's been 10 years since it opened.
Since it opened, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to.
Where was the reunion concert?
There wasn't. I know. You know,
Where
it's
was
so
the
funny.
reunion concert? We're doing it for 20. What are we doing?
I think maybe we should do it. I saw Andy Carl in Groundhog Day, which, I mean, what a tour de force performance. And he was like, are we doing this reunion concert or what? And I'm like, all right, Dewey,
I mean, you're all around.
UPS guy.
Somebody just do it.
Yeah, let's throw this thing together. We can have like different L's and
Maybe I need to organize it. Maybe I just need to get on top of this.
You can organize it. I'll do it. I'm happy to do it.
And you got married. That's the other big news. You got married to a really cute guy named Tom. He spells his name funny. I like it.
Thom.
Spells
it with an H.
Thom, Thom. I like that. I like that. And how'd it go? How was the wedding? I saw the photos. Very glamorous. There was it was somewhere. Where was like a racetrack? Where was it?
We got married at a horse racetrack.
Yeah, that was cool.
At Santa Anita Racetrack in California, which is
beautiful.
Near Pasadena, which is where we live. And I grew up in Kentucky, so I love horses. And I grew up around horse racing, and I'm a Breeders' Cup ambassador, that's the World Championship of horse racing. So I like try to get people to go and introduce them to horse racing. And I mean, my dad taught me to gamble on horses when I was like 4.
I love it.
So this is one of the most beautiful tracks, and it's got mountains in the background and palm trees. And we got married right in the infield, and I had some Legally Blonders as my bridesmaids.
Oh, okay.
So I had Tracy J. Edwards.
Yes.
I had, Asmaret Asmaret, she's doing Dreamgirls on the West End, so she couldn't come in. But Tiffany and Brooke Engen, who were twins and also in Hairspray, and Paul Kanan, and
of the Search for Elle Woods fame.
Yes. So we had quite a little group. So we had a flash mob. We had a whole bridesmaids performance.
Amazing.
We broke into song and dance. And it had hip hop dancing and Asian umbrellas and those little, those little, what are they called?
I don't know. You're talking about the flag?
Ribbons, like those little ribbon batons.
Ribbon
it was ridiculous.
It sounds like that song in Legally Blonde. It sounds like what you want. It sounds like you just burst out.
That is exactly what I did. I should have done What You Want. What You Want Is to Marry Me. We did a little I Can Hear the Bells, though.
Did I hear the bells?
Yes. And Marissa was at the wedding.
Marissa Jarrett Winokur. She was, okay.
Yeah, actually, it was a ton of Hairspray people attending.
Well, you have a lot of showbiz friends. Showbiz friends. People really like you. Alec wants to know, do you miss Elle Woods? Well, I mean...
Do I miss her?
I mean, do you think about her ever?
I am her. No. Do I think I directed Legally Blonde this summer?
Oh, that's right. I wanted to talk to you about that.
And that was such a
Where was
trip.
that?
In my hometown of Lexington, Kentucky. They have a brand new professional theater there, and they bring people in from Broadway and New York to play principals, and then they cast at the colleges kind of nearby, like University of Kentucky or Cincinnati, wherever. They'll cast a play ensemble. So it's really cool. Like Kevin Pariseau played Callahan, and I got Katie Leonard, who I did Hairspray with, to play Paulette, and Dan DeLuca played our Emmett.
But wait a minute. So did you want to direct, or?
Well, it was interesting. They came to me. My friend, who I grew up with and was in it was a dance captain of Chorus Line here, started this theater. And she and I have kind of been helping. I'm on the board, and she's like, I think we're going to do Legally Blonde, and I was like, nope. Not going to do it, because I think she wanted me to play Elle. I was like, no, honey, not unless it's a concert at the Hollywood Bowl, okay? Or Paul One Tour.
So you are open for that?
Put a reunion concert together at the 54 Below. I ain't gonna do it. But she goes, would you direct it? And I was like, that's a novel idea. So I was like, okay. I mean, here I go. And it was probably. I've directed music videos. I directed my own music videos. I've directed a lot of sketch comedy. I've written, so I understand like story. It was my first musical theater direction thing, and of all things for me to do, the thing I know most intimately is Legally Blonde. And most of that blocking was me finding that blocking. So it was, I know the intention of that show so well. So it was interesting to revisit it and have years away from it and to feel differently about it. And I'm constantly learning from this character that I felt like who I was. I kind of, my years of 25, 26, 27, I kind of was her. And I felt like when I did Legally Blonde, I started out as a girl and I left as a woman. And to be a woman and looking at it in this way was really interesting. And I also was like, you know what would be really funny? I found, as I was watching the show, I came up with funnier ways to say lines and all this kind of stuff.
For your lines,
like, oh, you know what would be way funnier than what I did?
Right.
And I told the girl doing it, I said, my goal is that you're better than me.
You've done a lot of comedy since then. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would make sense that you would like have some new ideas for the Hollywood Bowl. I'm so happy you're open to the Hollywood Bowl. This is good to get that out there.
I would love.
She will play Elwood at the Hollywood Bowl.
I live in LA. I will do Hollywood Bowl, Elle Woods, or I'll play Paulette. I don't care. I was thinking about doing Paulette as Show Cantel Brown.
Oh yeah, well I could see that.
Hello, welcome to the hair affair. How you doing, girl?
Will wants to know, how do you stay beautiful? How sweet.
Well, no. How do I stay beautiful? I stay happy.
Elise, she's happy.
I'm gluten-free.
She's living a good life. She's living a good life. Elise wants to know, what's your funniest backstage story? I'm sure there's so many. From Hairspray.
Oh. Oh, I have a couple.
Share some.
Well, we had a fart machine. You know when those fart machines came out with a remote control?
Yeah.
I had it, and I just, I'm always a jokester. I did Sound of Music with Marie Osmond when I was like 12, 13 years old, and talk about a jokester. She was always playing tricks and doing these crazy things. So I learned from her. I learned practical joking from Marie Osmond. And I brought that out on stage, and I am kind of known notoriously for doing that. And I had the little remote in my bra, but I put it backstage, the little fart machine, where the crew guys were.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of touch it and look back and watch them go.
During the show? While you're on stage?
Yeah, and it would go. And then actually, Mary Bond Davis was like, give me that. And she put it in her chest, and then I was hitting it on stage, and we may try to make Harvey laugh. I mean, there were plenty of other things. Also, I was going to college at the same time, and that Hardy Har Har set would come off, and then when it was gone, I would just put my books on it and study, and Linda Hart would just be like, come on, we got a cue. She'd just be freaking out.
Oh my God.
Of the book.
I didn't know you were studying backstage.
Yeah.
During the show, in costume.
Which is crazy. I don't even know how I did it. I could totally zone out the show.
That's amazing.
And I could hear my cue, and I could go out.
That's nuts. Somebody said, where in New Jersey will you see this show? Denise, I think that's a cryptic question, but it's at Paper Mill Playhouse, which is in Millburn, New Jersey. A lovely little town. There's some nice restaurants there. You can get dinner. You can make a whole thing of it. You can take the train from Manhattan there, and then you just walk. It's like a very short walk, right?
Yeah, it's like a lovely day. You can spend
it's
a lovely day.
It's in New Jersey.
A lovely fall day.
It's a lovely part of New Jersey. What was it like guest starring on Liv and Maddie? Brooke wants to know.
It was super fun.
Super fun.
I got to play kind of a ridiculous character. What was interesting about it is that I played a vocal teacher who was helping Liv after Liv had vocal surgery.
Okay.
So I was offered this role after I had a vocal procedure and couldn't speak.
Oh.
So I was like, what are the chances of that? And I'm like, when is this shooting? And they're like, a week and a half after I could talk again. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Which was so crazy. And then I got to work with Dove Cameron, who then played Amber Von Tussle in Hairspray Live. So it was and she was singing all the songs. She was like, I want to play all the roles you played. She was so cute. But she's adorable. And Andy Fickman, who directs the show, is a hoot, who I'm now working with on another project.
Oh, okay. How was it working with Ryan Murphy on Scream Queens? I was excited to see you on Scream Queens.
Well, I didn't really work with Ryan.
He wasn't there, like, guiding your performance?
He was, like, too busy with all of his other shows, like American Horror Story, and I I think they were doing The Feud at the time. But yeah, I did get
Yeah.
to make out with Jerry O'Connell,
Right,
so that
yeah.
was super fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, actually, so I played this nurse, right,
Yes,
who was responsible for killing
Yes.
the
It
green
was like a
meanie.
flashback scene.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
And then the second flashback they have was to the next Halloween, and I was dressed as Uranus with like a cardboard cutout here and a cardboard cutout here with these little ribbons to attach, okay? So I had to run from the green meanie. And I did this like kind of funny run, and then the director was like, I love it, I love the funny take. Now I want you to be terrified. And I was like, you got it. So I'm like working myself up, you know, like, I'm gonna be terrified. And so I start running, and I'm in these like heels, and we're on a hospital floor, kind of like this.
Yeah, shiny floor.
And I'm running, and I go airborne,
Oh my
okay?
God.
I fly up in the air, and I can't get my arms around Uranus. Because this is big thing. And I'm like trying to, so when I fall, it's like my whole shoulder goes, and I dislocated my shoulder.
What?
Like
Oh my God.
in the middle of the take, it was a whole mess. I like fell on my hip, it was a thing. And I ended up finishing the day of shooting, because I was like, I don't want to come back and do this again. I have to let the crew leaves, and I just like,
So
I
you
was
did
like,
it
I'll
in
just,
extreme pain.
yeah, just for 2 more hours, and then I went to the hospital.
Jesus.
I have a weird tolerance for pain. Last performance of Legally Blonde I did, I broke my elbow in, and I didn't know it was broken.
Oh my God.
And what you
moment
want-
did that happen? It happened during the show?
It wasn't on Broadway. I did when it went to Nashville, and I was living in Nashville.
Right.
I did the show,
That's
and
right.
it was a Saturday night show, and it was What You Want, and I did some move, and I broke my fall with my
my
hand,
God.
and my elbow went, and I was like, it won't straighten. And I was like, I must have jammed it. Like pulling it, trying to do the rest of the show, and I went to the emergency room afterwards, and they were like, ma'am, your blood pressure is through the roof.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Okay, Kathleen wants, I'm just going to throw some random
Yeah,
comments. I just found out recently you were in Jumanji. It made my life, just saying. I knew she was in Jumanji. Emily said, I love her. Emily also said, I saw you on Fuller House, girl. I see you. I see you.
I
Elliot,
can't see you.
quick answers. Elliot, who inspired you when you were younger?
Like famous actors.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, all the greats, right? All the divas. Like I always say, like I'm a gay man trapped in the body of John Bonet. So, like I liked Judy Garland and Julie Andrews, and I would impersonate them, and Carol Burnett. Anything
Yeah.
with Carol Burnett special, Goldie Hawn, Bette Midler. Oh my gosh, obsessed. So basically,
Yeah.
you know, like anyone who would ever play in Hello Dolly.
Right. Okay. Hello, Dolly people. And which leads me to Elise asking, do you have any dream roles? Dolly Levi, maybe?
Yeah, one day, and I would love to play Mama Rose.
Ooh.
Because I kind of had a bit of a stage mom, and I feel that,
Yeah, that could be epic.
and I would love to play Lola in Damn Yankees.
I thought you meant Kinky Boots.
Oh, yeah.
Or Kinky Boots.
I've always wanted to play Lola in Damn Yankees.
Damn Yankees,
and,
yeah.
And also Adelaide in Guys and Dolls. And
You have a bunch.
yeah, there's a lot of them that I would want to do, but I'm always more attracted to sort of more character-y things as opposed to ingenue,
Yeah.
pretty things. I'm not that interested in.
Yeah.
But anything that's
That's why
a
Elle was
little
great.
yes.
Because Elle had both.
She had
Yeah.
some, you know, she had a whole journey that was emotional while also comedic and a fish out of water. So that was really fun. But, you know, I'm not. I do like, although Fontaine would be nice. Always loved-
Fontaine?
Yeah, I always loved that Dream to Dream.
Wow,
That's
you're
good.
just open to a lot
It's
of things.
I guess I am.
Caroline, I saw the performance of Legally Blonde where you lost your wig and it wouldn't go back on. Can you talk about that experience?
Well, I lost my
Did
wig.
that just happen once?
I lost my wig 3 times.
I was going to say, I feel like that happened more than once.
But I think the time you're talking about was when I bent and snapped so hard it fell off. Was that right?
That would be the best moment
Probably
for
the
that
one.
to happen, the bend and snap.
What happened is they had put extra hair on the wig, and so it was heavier than usual. So the pins that they were using didn't hold it, and I really did snap my head, like when I bent and so, and it just went, and it fell in my hands, and it was like, well, I'm in the hair affair. I basically said, I want to thank you all for coming to see Legally Bald, because there I was with my bald cap on. I mean, I'm sure people who just assumed that was my real hair
Right.
probably were like,
Right.
you could hear the audience, like a pin could drop. And the second I said, thank you for coming to see Legally Bald, people were dying laughing. And I was like, and Delta News were there. And I was like, hey, Paulette, you want to help me put my hair back on? So they put my hair, so, they all each took off a hairpin and put my wig back on, but they put it on backwards. So the back was in the front, the front was in the back. And so it was like hanging in front of my face like this, and I didn't have enough pins. And then we went in to do bend and snap, which is bending over and snapping back up. So every time we did it, I had to hold my hair, grab my wig to make sure it stayed on and went down and up. The audience laughed every time I grabbed my head and went down. It was ridiculous. We were laughing and crying. We couldn't get through the song.
Caroline said, yes, that was the moment she wanted to hear about.
Yeah, I love that you were at that show.
Well, I want to see maybe some crazy stuff will go down at Paper Mill for the Honeymooners. You never know.
With this cast, with Leslie Kritzer and Michael Mcgraw, it is bound.
Yeah.
There's something in me.
It's going to go down.
If it's not accidental, it'll be intentional.
Okay, so what are the dates? September 28th through October 29th, Paper Mill Playhouse, Millburn, New Jersey. I'm going to be there. Are you going to be there? You're going to be there. She's
I'm
going to
be there.
She's going to be there.
Can I talk about something else I'm working on too?
Sure. Why not?
So I'm doing a concert here at Town Hall for women's rights.
Oh, what is it?
Sunday night, November 12th. It's at 8 p.m. and it's the women of Broadway coming together. It's called Double Standards, and it's the women of Broadway coming together to sing duets on standards, and all the money goes to ACLU, Planned Parenthood, and National Breast Cancer Coalition.
That's amazing.
And Rosie O'Donnell's involved, Annalee Ashford, Ingrid Michelson,
Fantastic.
me, Marissa Minoker. It's like all these lovely ladies that are tired of the double standard that we have to face and are ready to we can march, but they ain't heard nothing till they hear us sing.
So what's the date of that again?
November 12th at 8 p.m.
At Town Hall.
Hall
Awesome.
here in New York.
Cool. We'll get you more information on that on the site. Can't wait for that. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So happy you're back doing a musical.
I know, me too. It's so fun.
Everyone go check out Laura, I almost said Leslie Kritzer, but her too.
You should check
Laura
out
Bell
Leslie
Bundy in the Honeymooners at Paper Mill Playhouse. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with another amazing guest. Bye.